want to do is to create the perfect genetic soldier. Not for power, not for evil, but for good. Carlos Blanca will be the first of many. They shall march out of my laboratory and sweep away every adversary, every creed, every nation, until the very planet is in the loving grip of the Pax Bisonica.
Okay, retro go. Fire, go.
Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. This is Wait, You Haven't Seen? It's a show where we talk about movies and specifically talk about a movie at least one of us has never seen before. I'm your host, Travis, a.k.a. TV's Travis. This is episode number 355. And our movie this week is the cinematic classic Street Fighter from 1994. And here to talk with me about it because he had not seen it and I heard that and decided we must fix that. It's Kevin the Critic. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing great, Travis. It is true. I had not seen the Street Fighter movie. I don't know why it took me so long to rectify that. But yes, I have seen it now, and by God, it is glorious.
So normally what I'll ask is kind of what is a history maybe with a movie or how you didn't see it, but what's your history with Street Fighter itself, like the franchise of games? Did you play any of those games back in the day or even currently?
No, not all. So honestly, my history with Street Fighter as a franchise is I have watched in college, I watched a couple friends play some Street Fighter 1v1 matches.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've seen this movie. I know that they made some other installment subtitled The Legend of Chun-Li, which I haven't seen. I know they're coming out with a new one later this year, I believe.
Yep.
And I've seen the, of course, meme
Right.
that the M. Bison character has. But no, I went into this not knowing anything about what Street Fighter was really about. And so I just watched it and went like, what? Not in a bad way, but like,
you know, that's not far off from sort of what it was like watching this. So I remember this coming out. I played Street Fighter 2 a lot in the arcade and on the Super NES. That was right in my wheelhouse. I was playing that, and I was playing Mortal Kombat, and the fighting games were great in that arcade era because those were the games. It was like being in a pool hall where you put the money down on the table to play next. That was what it was like with a fighting game in the arcade, right? You put your quarter down, you were next one in line. And Street Fighter was one of those that I loved because it had these just larger-than-life characters, and they were it was a lot of bright colors. It was fast motion. It was a lot of fun. I played more, I would say, Street Fighter than I did Mortal Kombat at the time.
Yeah.
So this movie came out, and I was the target audience for it. You know, I was 14 years old and ready for this. 13, 14 years old, ready for this movie. And I saw it, and I remember at the time initially being like, huh? What?
Oh, even you were like, oh yeah, because I was watching this, and right from the start, I was like, okay, I already like the title, I also like the way the title comes up looks like a video game start screen that you would see in one of those arcades.
Yes.
I was like, okay, so this is a video game. Great. I'm with this. And then you get Chun-Li, like, yeah, GCN and all the it's like, oh my God, what is this game?
So the interesting thing about this movie is this is in an era where video games were just starting to get adapted into movies. And video games at the time were not as story driven in the game itself as they are now. So a lot of the story of a video game would be in the manuals.
Right.
and a lot of us didn't read the manuals. So you wouldn't know all these story things, and you get people, and then of course the filmmakers at the time didn't grow up with the games, so they don't have as much of a frame of reference, and these are getting adapted. So this was in the first wave of video game movies. So the first kind of theatrically released movie based on a video game was Super Mario Brothers in 1993.
Which I have seen. I have seen that, and that. To put my thoughts on that in brief, there was a point where, so I had it. Well, I don't know where I found it on DVD. Like I must have borrowed it from the school library or something. But like, so me and my friends were watching it, and there's a point about midway through the Super Mario Brothers movie where we think that the disc is scratched up, that we're not going to be able to finish it. And as I'm taking the disc out and putting it back into my Xbox, a part of me is hoping, please let this be so scratched that I can't finish this. Like this is,
and it's tough, right? Because that movie is rough, but it's rough for the reasons of you get some filmmakers and you say, "Hey, make a movie based on Super Mario Brothers," and
it's tough.
Yeah, what do you do there?
And I get it. Like I understand, and I understand, especially in the early '90s. You look at what Mario is, and you're like, how in the name of what do I make a movie out of this? It's a little guy with a red cap on who rescues a princess in a magical little mushroom land. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Okay, we're gonna make it like Blade Runner, and Bob Hoskins is Mario because he's a name that said yes, and Dennis Hopper is the evil dinosaur man. It's like, okay, and I know he has a name, I don't remember it, but it's like, just at the first track of the genre, I'm like, no. Street Fighter is better than Mario in every single sense. I will say that.
I will agree with that. I will say that Bob Hoskins as Mario was really good casting, and the chemistry between him and Leguizamo is good. But there's a lot of things about that movie that didn't work. But like, there was that movie. The Double Dragon movie came out a month before Street Fighter. That is also really rough.
It is? Okay.
That
I'm
one,
less familiar with Double Dragon than with this.
Yeah, so Double Dragon had the problem of having a super low budget.
Okay.
They made this. They had a little bit more budget, but Capcom helped to finance this. It's their game. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They get a deal with Universal and Columbia TriStar, and they're doing everything. They bring in director, and I believe it was his first time directing, is Stephen E. D'Souza.
And I believe he also wrote the script for this too. So he's pulling double duty on this, and I have to say that's kudos to him for pulling double duty on a movie of this size for the first time you're directing something.
Yeah, and he had written a fair number of movies. He wrote 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte. He wrote Commando. He wrote The Running Man. Die Hard was his script. Things like that. So he had been writing for a little while, but he got to direct this one. And I guess he had done something, probably a short film, really, really early on in his career. But he wasn't a big-time director yet, and now he's being asked to direct this very ambitious idea for a movie, given $35 million to make it. Yeah. And initially, he wanted it to be focused on like 6 to 8 characters. They kind of wanted to use like the main roster of Street Fighter 2 is what he wanted to do, because his thought was audiences aren't going to be able to remember more than that many characters, which makes sense. Right. And then I guess during the writing, Capcom was like, maybe we should put more characters in here. Capcom would like to have more because they want marketing, right? And they also. And that's what it is. I was going to say they also put so $35 million budget. They're adding characters to it, and they had a hard date of we want it out for Christmas of '94.
So that's okay. So that's so fascinating that's the process that they were making this with, because this feels like a movie. Like within the first 15 minutes of it, I was sitting here asking myself, like, I don't know who the main character is of this movie. Like, I thought, like, they
Well,
say like Jean-Claude Van Damme at the start. I'm like, okay, I guess it's gonna be him. And then I'm like, wait, no, it's not. Okay, we're on these two Ryu and Ken guys, and now we're on Chun Li the reporter, and okay, this
so
things are happening.
there's a little bit of reason for that. So Capcom had always wanted Van Damme, I guess, according to what I read.
Yes.
Now, casting Jean-Claude Van Damme as all-American military
Oh
guy
my.
Colonel
Oh
Guile
God.
is quite
That
the
was
choice.
that was see, that's why I initially made the post. Like, I the moment they had him come up and he's like, it's supposed to be American, I was like, no,
And
uh
he has,
no.
obviously, Van Damme has the look, right? He's got the
Yeah,
physique
oh,
for
yeah.
it. He's got the
Yeah,
physicality for it.
but the voice and the accent is like, it's inescapable. It's like,
Yeah.
and I love too, like at the end of the movie, I love like it's in like the very last scene with how they shoot him. He's got the American flag tattooed on
Oh,
his
yeah.
arm, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
burst out. I was like, they really, really, really are trying to. I had not known because most of the movie he's like wearing a shirt that doesn't like show off his arms,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was like, oh man, that if I had been the makeup designer in that, I would have been laughing at this.
So that was a big part of it. And also
Okay.
he was a star, right? And
Oh
you
yeah,
need that star
yeah.
to drive and put butts in
Oh
seats.
yeah,
So
like and that's the other way I was looking at this was like, and this is gonna be so until today, the only other John Claude Van Damme movie I had seen in full was The Expendables 2,
okay.
in which he's and like I know he was like one of the big stars of the time,
Mm-hmm.
like among like the Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Snipes, like he's one of those big guys.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
watching this, I was like, if I came in here as a fan of Van Damme, like when what do they call his style of action? Van Damage, I believe.
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I think this is I think it's funny that they put him at the like the front of the thing, and yet there are sections of this where he's just gone. Like
So
he doesn't get a lot of action in them. I mean, he gets
yeah.
a big bit at the end, but like he does not get a lot of action time
And there's
in
some
here. So
reason
it's
for that.
interesting as a start. Okay,
Yeah,
so what's the
there's some reason for
behind
that off screen. So obviously he's a big star at this point. He's done his, Kickboxer and
Yeah,
Bloodsport and
yeah.
Hard Target, and all of these movies have already come out. So he's a very big
Mhm.
star.
Yes.
So he had a bit of an inflated ego at the time. He also
Uh,
had a bit of a substance abuse problem. And
oh.
according to stories, Van Damme later revealed that during filming of this movie, he had a drug problem doing $10,000 worth of cocaine a week.
Oh god,
And
that's
he had an affair apparently with Kylie Minogue while they were filming it. He would
is that the
she
is that
played Cammy.
the lieutenant? Is that the
Yeah.
lieutenant?
Yes.
Okay.
And also he made $8 million for this movie. And
Oh wow.
I mentioned a little bit ago, the budget was $35 million. So more than a
Okay.
quarter of the budget of this movie went to just paying Van Damme.
Ugh.
And he apparently was very difficult to work with. He would show up late, and they were already behind schedule. So there was a lot of issues. Plus, they were filming in Thailand,
Okay.
and it was hot and humid because they were filming in Thailand in the summer.
And plus you've got everybody in these like very tight looking, colorful,
Mhm.
likely heavy costumes. It's like,
Yes.
man, I mean, and the thing, like, again, I couldn't help but laughing at the end of the movie when it's like a quarter of the cast has their shirts ripped off for the
Yep.
final fight for some reason. So hearing that, I'm like, okay, so they probably said it's super hot down here. We need to make our actors more comfortable. How do we do that? Just have them do this.
Yes.
Like
So-
that's the only logic I can think of as to why that just happened.
So you've got that all going on, right? So Van Damme is being
Yeah.
difficult. He's showing up late if he's showing up at all, and he's doing
And
a
he-
whole bunch of
And he's
coke.
doing- yeah.
And then they cast Raul Julia as M.
as-
Bison.
Yes, and I know a little bit about this. Like he apparently did this movie because his kids wanted him to do it or something. Like
Yep.
he wanted to make something for his kids.
Yep.
And I have to say, watching this movie made me really, really sad that he died.
So
I was
he
like, oh,
he was coming
he's
off of surgery for stomach cancer when he started this. So he
oh
knew
oh
already
boy.
that he was on his way out, and that was why he
Yeah.
took the role. He wanted to do something that his kids would like. His kid wanted him to do it. Was a big fan of the games, and he knew
Oh
he
yeah.
didn't have much work left in him. So he
Hmm.
took this role. He
Yeah.
sadly passed away shortly after filming completed, which is why the movie is
Right.
dedicated to him at the end.
Yeah, I liked that they dedicated to him.
And he understood the assignment and he showed up. What this makes me
Oh
think of, have
yeah.
you seen Galaxy Quest?
Yes, I've
Okay.
seen Galaxy Quest. Yeah.
Alan Rickman in Galaxy Quest, right,
Mm-hmm.
is this. Or Alan Rickman in Robin Hood Prince of Thieves is the same way, where you know they're on the set and they know
Yeah.
this movie is camp and it is going to be pretty awful,
But,
but they're
yeah.
such professionals. They dive into it. And
Oh yeah,
Raul
no, and
Julia just owns this role.
honestly, Raul Julia is carrying this entire movie on his back.
Mhm.
Like I think and I think he more than anybody else understands exactly the kind of movie that this is and is playing it to such hammy levels
Yep.
of cartoonishness. It's like, no, this is I mean, he is given 1,010. He knows how big to go without it going too much and being annoying. It's like he's just great.
Because he's
And
going
so
at
it's
it like it's a Shakespearean
oh
play.
yeah, he's going at it like like he's going at it with this level of theatricality
Mhm.
that nobody else in the movie is. And so he's like 1,000 times more interesting to watch than anyone else because it feels like he knows how ridiculous it is, but he fully believes in the universe and the character and everything he's saying.
Yeah. Yep. And he did his research. He looked at different world dictators and crime lords and kind of tried to model
Okay.
his character off of those. So he was taking like, according to this, Mussolini's like hand gestures and
Okay.
mannerisms of Joseph Stalin and all this kind of stuff, and he
Oh yeah.
integrated it all into this character. And he knew exactly how to get everything to an 11
Yeah. I
in a
mean,
way
it's
that just works.
and it feels like in a weird way, it feels like he is the most fully realized character in this entire movie, based purely on the way Raul Julia plays him.
Mhm.
Like, I know exactly who this guy is within like 10 minutes of meeting him.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, nope. And honestly, there's a point where I'm like, I know this is gonna sound awful, but I'm kind of rooting for you to win this, dude. Like,
In a way, yeah.
you believe in something.
And it's that dedication to it that sells everything else. Now, unfortunately, we don't get the same level out of Van Damme, who can be very good. Like
No. Oh, can he?
Van
Okay.
Damme, I do believe can be good, but this was the era,
Did
and this
this
kind of so he went through this period after this movie where he had diminishing returns in his movies for a little while,
okay.
and then kind of went to direct to video hell for a bit.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of that he has gone on to say like he
It
was the
was his
problem.
fault.
He just
Okay.
had an ego. He asked for more money, and then movies didn't perform, and he couldn't let go of that. And I understand it, but he's kind of come
Okay.
around a little bit and been able to not only see the kind of ridiculousness of what he does for a profession, but also just I don't know. It feels like there was a growth in Van Damme as a person over time that's brought him back.
Okay, and I'm happy that he had that growth, but it because in here, I feel like if Julia is at an 11 throughout the thing, I feel
Hmm.
like Van Damme is sitting very comfortably at like a 6.5 or a 7,
Yeah.
and he needs to go larger. It's like okay, like I get, I understand like everybody can't be at that same level because it would be monotonous. But it's like the hero and the villain, I think, should be at similar levels. Like they're opposites, but they should be
Mhm.
similar. Like he's not going large enough as an actor, even though they've got him in this military costume. And again, the flag. It's like, all
It's
right, you're not going big enough, and I don't know if the material is there for you to go big enough anyway.
there kind of isn't, and really what it comes down to is it's just not a role for Jean-Claude Van Damme to play.
No,
And
and like
then on top of that, now he's got to go opposite Raul Julia as Bison, who's
who's
just
like he's
owns
just
it.
eating he's like eating up the screen. It's like this guy is, and yeah, like Van Damme feels like he is I feel like he's it feels like he is trying to figure out how do I play this? Like
Mhm.
because he doesn't carry him. Look, the him not being an American thing, like you can't help that, but he doesn't carry himself to me with the authority of a soldier in the first place in this. And so I'm watching a guy walking around in what feels like a cosplay outfit.
Yeah. And I mean, most of them do end up feeling that way, but I think
Yeah.
other characters, like the other problem there's several problems this movie has, but one of
Mhm.
them is what D'Souza said when he was starting it off, which is like we need to have 6 or 7 characters, main
Yeah.
characters, and you go
Yeah.
beyond that and you start to lose it, and that was the problem. You have Guile and Bison, okay,
Yeah.
but you've
Okay. Sure.
got
Yeah. Yeah.
Chun Li is there, and Ming Na
Yeah.
Wen
That's
is
fine.
great.
No, Ming-Na, yeah,
Um,
and I was gonna say like Ming-Na Wen is like I said in my tweet like Raul Julia and Ming-Na Wen are the MVPs of this. I think that there's a scene between the two of them
oh,
together
we're
in
gonna
his
get to that one.
chambers that
Oh
is
yeah.
like she's bringing it. Like I think she brings it. I think she's able to bring some humanity to this at
Mhm.
in moment or just some like, oh, this is a person here. Like even in her little news blurb thing, I'm like, oh, okay, she's a reporter reporting on this thing, and it's not real, but like, okay, this is a thing that's happening.
Mhm.
She doesn't feel like a cartoon character to me. She feels like, okay, she's over the top, but she's a person,
Yeah.
not a toy figure.
Well, and like that's great. And then you've got her 2 friends there, which is Balrog and E Honda.
Okay,
Now they
yeah, her.
changed E Honda in the movie.
Mhm.
In the game, he's Japanese. He's a Japanese sumo, and in this, they made him
Okay,
Hawaiian
yeah, yeah, okay,
because Peter Tuiasosopo is Hawaiian. So,
sure, yeah, and
which
that's
is
and that's fine.
just fine.
So yeah,
Balrog was played by Grandel Bush, by the way, which it never like. I love the fact that one of the Agent Johnsons from Die Hard is Balrog.
oh my god, I didn't realize
He's
that.
the he's the he, yeah he's the younger or Little Johnson, I think is what he's credited as. But they're
Okay,
fine. But then
yeah,
you
they're all
also
right.
have you mentioned, but Ken and Ryu, and
Yeah, they're okay. I think that I feel like it feels like there's missing scenes with them.
yes, oh yeah,
Like
for sure,
no, it feels like there's a point at the end of it where they have a thing like we should go help these people. No, I'm out for myself. No, I'm going to like it feels like there should be an arc where one of them is trying not to be as self-serving and the other doesn't.
yeah. They
Or
needed
like
more of it. They touch on it, but
yeah,
they don't
but
do
they
enough
they
with it.
like, they
Um,
set that up that they're these hustler guys who are out for themselves, and then at the end of the movie, they turn into good guys, but there was no, like, change. There was nothing in what we saw of them. You're like, "Oh, they're gonna be selfless good guys now."
mhm. And
Like,
you
where is
have
that?
um, Blanca and Dulcim are largely unused in the whole movie. Like, yes, you have Dulcim and he's the doctor, and at the end of the movie,
Yeah,
he
oh,
looks a
yeah.
little bit like he's supposed to be, but he really doesn't do anything.
He
And
doesn't do
Blanca,
anything. Yeah, and then
Blanca is there as like a MacGuffin. He is a
oh, is he
plot
the
device.
is he the best friend
Yes,
of Guile? Okay, so when I saw the final form of him, I thought if Carrot Top was a Klingon,
kind of. Yeah,
that's what he looked like.
And
or like Beast Man from the He-Man series or something. If he was halfway transformed, like that's what it looks like to
and
me.
it's
And
it
the makeup job is fine. It's just like again, it assumes that there's a level of emotional connection there between him and Guile that does not exist.
yeah, and part of that is because they combined Blanca and another character from the game's Charlie into Charlie
Oh,
Blanca. Because in the
right. Yeah.
game, Blanca is his own character and has no connection to Guile, and there's a character
Okay.
named Charlie that is Guile's friend.
Okay.
Um, so they combined those two, but then you also have like DJ and T Hawk and Vega and Sagat. There's just too many
Oh my
characters to
god, yeah,
try
there's
and
too
pay
many. Oh, yeah,
attention.
oh, yeah, yeah, there's too many people here. Yeah, yeah. The biggest problem is like this is an ensemble movie that has no idea how to balance its
Yeah,
ensemble out.
exactly.
Like when
Exactly.
they brought in Sagat, and I was like, wait, is he another villain? We've already got Bison over here. Like I don't like the actor is fine
Oh, I
with the
love
eye
Wes
pat.
Studi.
No,
What?
no, West Studi is fun, but it's like honestly, when it got to Ken and Ryu the first time, that where I was like, Wait, what does this have to do with anything you've just set up for 10 minutes?"
Right. And then
Like,
it
why are
feels like
they
something they
here?
stapled on
Yeah,
and
it completely feels like that. It's like it feels like because I was like at the start of this, I was thinking because I was thinking like, oh, the guy that made Die Hard. Okay, the way they set this up, I thought it was, and the way that the IMDb description describes it, I was thinking, oh, this is gonna be like Die Hard, where Guile and his guys are gonna be going through M. Bison's castle or something.
right.
Okay, that's gonna be cool. And then he's gonna like he and the Chun Li, the reporter, might have a romance or something, which they kind of they end like they had that.
Yeah.
But and then it cuts to Ken and Ryu. I'm like, why are we going to the street? Like, don't is this another movie? Like,
And
what?
and not only that, but there's too much time spent with certain characters and not enough time with them or with other characters. So like Zangief, for instance, played by
Mhm.
Andrew Bierneski or
Okay, and which one?
Bierniarski.
And which
He's
one
the
was he?
he's the big Russian kind of the big dumb Russian guy that does the sideways thumb.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah. That guy
He's
was
great.
funny when he was that guy. I think like probably one of my favorite lines in this came between like him and the black dude, where
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh my god, we have to defend I don't remember, like we have to defend like the peace and freedom," and the dude's like, he's the bad guy. Like
Yeah. Yep.
people came in here to defeat him because he's against peace and freedom. Like their little exchanges to me were legitimately funny. Like there
And
was some that was some funny writing between those two
oh
guys. I
yeah.
wish there was more of that.
Like I had a comment while I was watching it today. Like I just want a movie of just those two, like
Like,
just Zangief and DJ because DJ is Miguel Nunez, who I love.
oh
Like
yeah,
this
oh
movie is
yeah,
full of actors that
who
I
are
love from
great.
stuff. These great
Oh
character
yeah,
actors.
oh yeah, oh, yeah. I know Ming Na Wen at the time from Agents of Shield as
Yep.
Melinda May.
Oh
So
yeah.
when I saw her in the opening credits, I'm like, awesome, May is in here. This is gonna be great.
Um.
And and it's just like, yeah, they've got a really, they assembled a really, and again, like Wes Studi as the guy, like, hey, this guy is going all in, like he's good, he's entertaining. So they got really good people for this for the time.
And it does look like everyone was having fun, with the exception maybe of
Yeah,
Van Damme. Everyone was
yeah, I
having
agree.
fun making it, and they're all like, I honestly, especially on this rewatch, I feel like everyone was bought into, and they understood there is a level of campiness that they're going for, right? Because
Yeah, oh yeah,
what they're adapting is inherently silly, and they
yes,
understand that, and they're just going for it. And
yeah,
so
everybody.
all of them are bringing something to it, but they don't get enough screen time, unfortunately.
No,
Like,
and that's they're all trying to yeah, like other than Van Damme, I feel like everybody is aware of what the movie is, and that
mhm,
like we're making a video game into a movie. And this is something that a colleague Darren Lundberg brought up, like the inherent ridiculousness of making a video game into a movie. I was like, I feel like everybody on this except for Van Damme is keenly aware of how ridiculous an idea it is to take a video game character and make them real. And they're just having fun with that. They're just playing that up
Oh yeah,
to the degrees that they can. It's like so it makes it easier to go with and really fun to watch, just seeing how into it everybody is outside of Van Damme.
for sure. And as I said, this was early in video games getting adapted. So we had Mario Brothers, Double Dragon, then this. Then we get Mortal Kombat,
Yeah,
which I feel like Mortal Kombat, that first movie, again, isn't perfect by any stretch, but it understood its source material. And that was kind of the first time of really getting a filmmaker in Paul W.S. Anderson who was like, I like this and I want to turn this into a movie.
yeah,
Like
and
D'Souza feels a little bit like a Gun for Hire here.
yeah, a little. I mean, I would say that D'Souza feels like, you know, it feels like he understood that it was a big, colorful video game, and so he's designed the entire movie to look like every setting in this looks like a video game level or a
Oh
video
yeah.
game location. I love the production design, like all the looking of this is great. The costumes in it they look awesome, like it just looks ridiculous and they have no shame about it. They're like,
Right.
we're just this is exactly what we're doing. Like there's not again, like there's no I mean, there's wink into the camera in terms of how ridiculous it is, but it's like they're not making fun of the thing itself. They're just like, hey, we're a big giant gamey cartoon,
Hmm.
basically, and just either enjoy that and go with us or don't.
Which is
And
why I
yeah.
think 30 years on, it's still enjoyable to watch because of
Oh
that.
yeah.
Because
I know it
there's
is.
a
Yeah.
there's an inherent joy in it, and then you get some of these moments that just like, all right, you mentioned it earlier, but the scene with Chun-Li and Bison in Bison's chambers
Oh.
is such a
Oh.
great scene, and there's so many layers to it. Like at the beginning of the scene when they're talking and he's getting changed behind his little
Oh
half
yeah.
wall,
That was
it kills
yes.
me because he's got the hat rack of all the different colors of his hat.
Oh yeah, all the hack. I lost it when she is like listing his list of crimes, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, slavery," like
Yeah.
just
Yep.
pulling it, like just little goofy things like that, and yeah, like, that's a moment where I liked her because as goofy as he is, he's still a vet. He's still like a dictator, and an awful guy. So I
Oh
like
yeah.
that they're like, oh, I like that they gave her that motivation of hating him. Like that's what her stake is in
Hmm.
this. That was like the closest thing to like a character motivation in this. I'm like, no, I can attach to that. I wish that she would have been more involved in the fight with him at the end. Like when Van Damme and him fight, I'm like, there's no connection between these two guys, or not enough of one. I know that Chun Li can't be the hero because Guile's like the dude,
Sure.
but like it would have made more sense to me, it would have been more satisfying, I guess, in a criticky way if Chun-Li had fought him because she had the connection to him, like, "I'm getting revenge from the death of my parents in my village."
And I
But it's just like, this is another kind of movie that does that kind of thing, and I got that, like, I understand. It's not a big ding on the movie, it's just like, you had something there, I wish you would have done it, but you didn't.
and it's tough, right? Because you're adapting a tournament fighter. The
Yes.
story of the game is that they're getting together for this fighting tournament, and that's what brings all
Okay.
these weird characters together. But they don't
Right.
do that for their movie. So that was the thing. Like
No.
the next year, Mortal Kombat comes out, and one of the things it did that I think works is it took the idea of that tournament and worked that into its story for the
Yeah, I
movie.
will. Yeah, I'll give more. So I didn't love the Mortal Kombat movie, but
Sure.
I will give it. Yeah, it wasn't my kind of thing at all. But like,
Mhm.
I will give it this. Like in terms of adapting a fighter into a movie, it's like, okay, no, that's what it is. Like this is a movie about people going to a tournament and fighting each other. That's what you want to. That's what you go in expecting. That's what you get. Like I'll give it points for that.
Yeah.
I
And
th I and that's what they need to do, like, and then, like, all the character like, even, like, the scene music that they play from the game in there, it's like,
mhm.
"Okay, I get why like, this doesn't appeal to me but I get why they're doing it, and I can see, and I understand why the fans of it would enjoy seeing because all the characters in their costumes and fight. Like, I get the appeal of that movie. I get why that has a fan base as well.
So here's a question for you. So adaptation is a very interesting thing to me in terms of storytelling, right? Because different mediums
Yes.
tell stories in different ways. You're not going to tell
Yes.
a story the same way in a novel that you will in a movie that you will in a video game.
Yeah.
And one of the things with video games, especially, is video games are inherently an active participation thing. You are playing either the character or you're creating a character, and then you're doing this thing
Yeah.
in the story. The story is unfolding based on your actions and your choices.
Yes.
Movies are a passive way of telling a story for the audience, right? You sit back and you
Yeah.
take it in.
You watch. Yeah.
Do you think it's a more difficult thing to adapt a video game to a movie than it would be a novel to a movie?
I think that I think that when it comes to adapting a video game to a movie, you need if you're if you're adapting something that inherently has a story to it, or like
Mhm.
elements from games that have like I'm gonna use like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 as an example, because like they adapted like Sonic Adventure 2 or elements of that into that movie. I think if you're adapting a video game into a movie, you should try to adapt, the story of the game in a way that will satisfy the fans and regular people. Or if you're or if it's your first crack at something, like if it's your first video game, like like the first Sonic movie, for example,
Mhm.
I liked that movie because it was like, okay, this a fun road trip comedy movie that introduces Sonic in it. Like it's
Yeah,
not based on the game. The character is there. We're putting the character into a story that's very palatable. And then in the second one, they start introducing more gamey like elements into it, and that kicked. And so now they're doing that even more with every movie. So yeah, I think with video games, when you're making them into movies, you need to make something that is going to a be a story that is palatable to the general audience so that people who are so it's not so niche about it,
sure.
but also don't make something that's going to insult the fans of the thing, like
Exactly.
like I know that sometimes video game fans are very very like stingy about, well, you change this and you change that. But like I've been watching reviews the last couple of days for like Return to Silent Hill, which
Mhm.
apparently is which, as I understand, is a very bad adaptation of Silent Hill 2. And it's like, okay, which I know that's a story-driven game. So the fact that they messed that up, I'm like, man, that should have been a slam dunk for this. But no, generally, yeah, like the video game movies to me that are good are ones that are going to satisfy the fans, yes, but also, like is it gonna entertain me, like someone who I'm a casual gamer.
Mhm.
I have several games. Like I'm aware of the big franchises. I've played a little bit of most of them. But I'm like, look, am I getting what I would get out I want what I would want out of any movie out of this. Like, do I have a character that I can attach to? Is the story
Mhm.
keeping me engaged? If it's an action movie, if it's an action thing, is the action good? If it's a horror thing, is the horror good? If it's, science fiction, does it have good ideas underlying it? Like, I think that's the biggest thing for me with video game movies. And as far as Street Fighter goes, I look at it and I go, this works for me on the level of a giant over the top cartoon.
Mhm.
Like this is so big and so ridiculous and so fully into being itself, regardless of my knowledge of I don't have knowledge of the games, so I can't criticize it on that. But it's like,
Sure.
you know, as a movie, I was like, this is unlike any other video game movie I've ever seen.
It's
And
it
that's a good thing.
Yeah, I like adapting something is always a little bit of an uphill battle because you have if you're adapting it, odds are it's a fairly popular thing. Whether it's a
Yes.
popular in its niche or not, or broadly popular, it's going to have a built-in fan base. And
Yeah.
so you have to balance adapting that thing for, as you said, a broad audience, but also don't insult your fan base. But
Yeah.
you can change things too.
Oh,
Whether
yeah,
it's
you should. It's like, and this is something I learned in college. So I went to college and came out with an English degree.
Mhm.
So like adaptation theory states that, an adaptation of any given work is that work seen through the eyes of the adapter. So this Street Fighter movie is Street Fighter seen through the eyes of Stephen E. D'Souza.
yes,
Like this is the things he wanted to focus on. This is the things that he wanted to do.
to an extent. I
Christoph,
mean,
to
there was
well,
a
to
little
an, well studio intervention, but like generally speaking, like this is his
yes.
vision. Or like Christoph Gans with the first Silent Hill movie. Like this is what Christoph Gans wants Silent Hill to be. There are significant changes made to that. And I'm like, I like Silent Hill as a feature big monster movie. That's a fun movie to me.
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
just
it's
rewatched
an,
the
oh
first
no,
one, and
oh no,
it's
it's entertaining. Like that
Mhm.
actually that's actually an example. Like so, several years ago, I was living in an Airbnb with somebody, and the lady who ran the Airbnb, like her son, had a copy of the Silent Hill movie just up in a drawer somewhere.
okay.
And I was like, I've never seen this. Like I just put it in, and I watched it. And I went, that was really fun. Like, I want to check out this game now. And so, yeah, like because of the Silent Hill movie, because I enjoyed the world of it and the atmosphere and all the stuff, like I was like, I want to check out some of these games now. Like, I actually want to
Yeah.
spend more
Oh
time in
yeah.
that. And so it worked. And with this, it was like I might want to check out a Street Fighter game just
So
to see what that is like.
yeah. All right. So a cool thing I found this week, because I think one of
Mhm.
the better, for me, still one of the greatest adaptations I've ever seen is Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy, because he understood those books and he found the story that he wanted to tell from those books
Yeah.
that would work in a movie, and he made that.
Yeah.
Another guy, another filmmaker who is very good with adaptation, I feel, is Guillermo del Toro.
Okay.
And he adapted the Hellboy comics into two really fun movies. I love both Hellboy and Hellboy 2: The
Oh,
Golden
yeah.
Army.
Yeah.
He also just recently did Frankenstein, and that's a big
Oh
one.
no! Oh man! Frankenstein. I agree with you on Frankenstein. Like Frankenstein, I'm the pickiest guy you will ever meet about Frankenstein. Like that's my favorite book. It got me into science fiction and horror from a very young age. Like I've seen good adaptations of it. I've seen childish adaptations of it.
Yeah.
I saw I Frankenstein and wanted that 90 minutes of my life back. Like I'm not one of these guys that goes to this place often. But when I finished I Frankenstein, I was like, Mary Shelley is rolling in her grave from what you have just done to her creation. Guillermo del Toro doing it, and I love del Toro's stuff generally. Like I love a lot of his stuff. Del Toro doing it, I was like, this is the perfect adaptation for me because it makes enough changes to be its own thing, but still gets back around to exploring the same ideas and
Yes.
emotions and character stuff that the book has in a way that I don't think anybody else has ever really captured or understood before.
Certainly not
So
in
as a
film. Certainly,
no, like
yeah.
on film, and I've seen other films. It's like I saw the 1931 one, and I
Mhm.
enjoyed that as its own thing. I grew up watching Alvin the Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein, which has elements of the book. I mean, it's not an adaptation, but like it has elements of
Oh
the
yeah.
misunderstood monster and this and that. But like Del Toro, I really felt like he got it. Like he understood who Victor is,
Yep.
and the idea of like messing with things you don't understand and how your mistakes will crush everything around you, and who really is the monster in the situation between him and the
Yes.
creature. Like he really nailed that in a way that I never thought I'd see on film.
Absolutely.
And so again, he made some changes story wise when they happened. Like, what are you doing? These two characters shouldn't meet right now. But they're like, wait, no, this actually came back around, and you got it. Like
Yeah.
this is perfect.
So this, he's somebody who knows how to adapt. And I heard these two quotes from him this week, and they
Yeah.
really struck a chord with me in terms of adaptation. One of them was, he was talking about adaptation, and he says it's like a fish that learns to live on land, right?
Yeah.
It has to grow legs and it has to grow lungs because it's existing now in a different medium. So
Yeah.
it's changed. And the other one, and this was the better quote, I think, is he said that adapting is like marrying a widow. You honor the late husband, but you got to get it on. And I thought it was such a good quote because that is how you adapt something. You honor the source material, but you do the thing you've got to do. And so that is where adaptations. Now, video games are again tough because it's such a different form of storytelling. But you can do it if you find the things within the game and the game lore and utilize those. And I think something like Street Fighter, what it did was it took the characters, but it changed the changes that they made to some of those characters. Some work, some don't. And that's going to happen all the time. The second Street Fighter movie, the Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, which came out, I believe, in 2009.
I want to say, that sounds about right.
It's got a lot of changes, and not many of them are that good.
And I saw that, like, I remember looking like Kristen Krug plays Chun-Li in that, and she has my heart forever for Smallville. But I was looking at this and going, she's not gonna replace what Ming-Na Wen did. She doesn't have it, and I'm sure it's not her fault. Like, it just thinking about, could I see Kristen Krug playing this role in a way that I would find satisfying? Now that I've seen Ming-Na do it, it's like, no, sorry, I don't see this working.
And I see this happen a lot, like Doom that came out in 2005 with Dwayne Johnson and Carl Urban.
I still need to see that.
It had elements that worked, but some of the changes they made also didn't. You had Silent Hill, you mentioned. By the way, Christoph Gans did the new Silent Hill as well.
And that's why, like, if it was playing near me and there wasn't a giant ice storm incoming, I wouldn't go and see it. I think the Street Fighter: Legend of Chun-Li, I'm like, I think making a movie about Chun-Li could be really cool and interesting.
Oh, for sure.
Like, and I don't know how much our story here is from the game and how much they added to it for the movie. But like,
I honestly don't remember much about that movie, other than I did not enjoy it, and it criminally, like, Neil McDonough plays Bison in that, and I love Neil McDonough.
Okay,
he just doesn't.
All right.
He has the impossible task of trying to play a Bison. He does it very differently from Raul Julia for a lot of reasons.
But anybody would.
It just doesn't work. There's so many of these game adaptations that miss the mark. I mean, not even counting anything Uwe Boll has done. Because
I think I've tried to watch one of his movies, and I was like, I can't do this.
They're rough. Like, all of them are rough.
Can't. Actually, wait. What is it? I think that I saw Blood Rain once, and I was like, why is Ben Kingsley in here? That's all I remember thinking.
Well, I can tell you why Ben Kingsley is in that movie. Ben Kingsley's in that movie because he got paid to be in that movie. It's the same reason that Burt Reynolds was in the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale. Because Uwe Boll was able to get, like, basically he got tax breaks to make his movies and could pay, and so he paid actors.
Okay, and I guess another game adaptation that I think it works. So I haven't played the game, but I can speak to how I think it works as a fun adventure movie. I like the Prince of Persia movie, like just as an adventure thing, like an adventure blockbuster. It's fun. I think it's hilarious that they said we're going to cast Jake Gyllenhaal as the Prince of Persia, but that not Persian, so can't really speak to issues with that. But it's like, it's a fun adventure movie. I enjoy it. It's fun. I don't know how close it is to Spear the Games, but I thought that was a good step of, like, we can make movies that are enjoyable out of these.
And that's the tough part, right? Because, like, you mentioned the Sonic movies, and those are an example of, here's a game that has story, right? There was a couple of animated series, there's lore behind it, but they took that and they did the right kind of way to do it, which is to adapt it, to take parts, take elements, and then create a story that's compelling. Because if you don't have a good story, you don't have a good movie. It doesn't matter what your source material is, who your stars are, how big your budget is. If you don't have a good story, there's nothing to care about, and which is what hurt
Yeah.
movies like Monster Hunter was one recently. Some of these recent
was
ones,
it?
Monster
Okay.
Hunter, what was it? Borderlands.
Oh, I didn't even see. I saw the trailer for Borderlands. So one of my roommates in college, he used to play Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel, all the time,
Mhm.
and he told me sort of what it was about. And I saw the Borderlands movie trailer, and I was like, "This looks like the garbage fire that I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be."
So
And then it was out of theaters before I could even see it. So it was like,
my I've covered Borderlands on this show, and I've talked about it
ooh,
before, and I didn't
mhm.
hate it,
Okay,
but I understand where people didn't like it. It did try to tell its own story, and I like that about
okay,
it, because the way I
yeah.
put it when I was talking about it on the show was, I don't want the story of the game of Borderlands, because if I want that story, I'll play Borderlands.
Oh yeah.
But the the problem that Borderlands had was it rounded off too many of the edges. That needed to be
Okay.
there.
Like
There's this move
R.
in film, right, to broad audience, right? You
Yeah.
gotta make your money back. If you spend 120 million making your movie plus marketing, you got to make however much it is.
Like
And so
$500 million or something to
yeah,
break even.
so there's this push uh, to make things a broader appeal, and therefore PG-13 tends to be the
The
broadest
sweet,
appeal.
yeah, the sweet
Um,
spot.
and because video games, right or wrong, are always looked at as being a children's medium, much like animated
Which
things, which we
which
know
I dis oh yeah, which I
is
disagree
wrong.
with it.
Yeah,
Which that's
wholeheartedly.
ridiculous. Like yeah, like I can say this when seriously, like I remember like my buddy was I remember one time my buddy came over to my house to play like he would like I'm not good at first person stuff, but I
Mhm.
like watching other people play them. But
Sure.
some my buddy had Halo 4 and I was just like watching him play. I'm like, what's the story of this? And he's telling me what the story is. And so for the last like maybe third of the game, I'm like watching the cutscenes. And to this day, the ending of Halo 4 is the only video game that's ever made me cry. I was like, oh, this is like moving me in the way that a movie does. Like I've never had a game do this to
And
me
it shows like you
before.
can do that, right? Whether it's
Yeah.
like story-driven games can also be very, and you
Oh
can
yeah.
have adult aimed things that don't
Themes.
have to be horror, don't have to be over the top
Oh yeah. Like
bad, but like it can work. But you've got to
it,
understand your core audience to begin with, because if you don't have the core fans, it doesn't
you're
matter. You're
not
not going
gonna
to get the broad fans, right? Like,
Yeah, like I think the Beautiful Creatures book adaptation ran into that problem, as I understand it, where like the movie was fine, but apparently it changed a lot of stuff in the book, and so the book fans got really angry at it, and that's why it didn't do very well. But it's like
sure.
but yeah, like I think if you have an M-rated video game and you say we're gonna make this into a PG-13 movie so that 12-year-old boys can see it, it's like
Like you better have a very compelling
yeah.
reason for that, and you better do it well, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah, and that's why I like the Silent Hill movie because when I watched it, I was like, "This is R-rated. They're dealing with some very mature things.
mhm,
The imagery in this is like terrifying at times. Like the atmosphere is really thick. Like they're not pulling their punches on awful, awful things that are happening in
right?
there." And I appreciate it. Like, wow, this is a video game. Like, I need to get my hands on this
Yeah,
like now. Like I'm fascinated by this location and these things. And I kind of like and I mean, again, this is a step down in quality, but like there are two Hitman movies right now. The
sure.
first Hitman movie I've tried to watch multiple times and can't get through because I can't follow it. Like
Yeah,
I'm sure the story's simple, but the way they tell it, I was like, I can't understand this. And then Hitman Agent 47, I was like, okay, this is all right to me. Like it's a dumb movie, it's an action chase movie thing.
sure.
But like I got more enjoyment at Agent 47 because I was like, oh, I kinda get it. Now having played some of Hitman, I know that you're not supposed to go around running and gunning into rooms and killing. Like I've tried that approach with the games and gotten killed every single time.
Yeah,
But it's like, okay, you made a dumb action movie that I can enjoy okay as a dumb action movie, it stood out to me as being like, this is one of the decent ones for
Yeah, it's
me.
again, it's why something like Mortal Kombat works, because they took the elements from the game, they translate it, and they make something that is palatable to watch. Like, one of the bigger disappointments of a game adaptation that I've experienced was Max Payne.
Yeah. Okay,
And
I
the
haven't
reason-
seen that. Oh, what they
Yeah.
do with that?
Well, part of the reason that it for me is one of the worst is the disappointment, because John Woo was involved in kind of creating, I think, Max Payne, but it's also
Okay.
it's a Remedy entertainment game to start, and it was very story driven. It's a very narrative driven game
Okay.
that they missed
Yeah.
the mark with. Like it if any game should be able to get translated to a movie, Max Payne
it's
should be
this.
one of those, and it just didn't.
Okay.
By extension, something like a fighting game or Doom, that's one that shouldn't work, but they work better than you would think, because you don't have as high an expectation of what that's going to be. Silent Hill is one we keep mentioning, but like that's such a good adaptation because
that works, because like they made changes to it. Some of them were stupid studio things. Some of them were like whatever. But like they even like I've seen people who like fans of the game, even if they don't like the overall story, they're like they captured the atmosphere right and the feel of it right
Yes.
down, and they got Akira Yamaoka to do the music, and it's like okay, they got and there I like that there are little references to the game in there that aren't like, and they got camera angles. Here's another thing that video game movies do that makes them good for me is that like video game fan service doesn't mean anything to me. Like I'm not attached to any video game
Sure.
at this point enough to be like, ooh, fan service thing I recognize. If you're gonna have that in there, either do it in a way that's not gonna pull me out of the movie or distance me from what's happening so I don't understand it. Or, don't do it at all. But, I know a lot of things they like to put the fan service in there for the fans. Like, like Sonic 3 has a fan service moment in there with him and Shadow where it's like, oh, it's like a game screen. I'm like, okay, I get that, but it didn't take me out of it. It's like, okay, this is cool. You integrated that into the character arc for Shadow. You made this like they're a team now. That's cool. And then there's a bunch of other little things in there that I'm sure I missed, but it didn't take me out of it. Silent Hill is also like that.
Mm-hmm. That's a thing I think that has gotten so much better with the filmmaking, because you're getting filmmakers that enjoy and like the source material and want to work that in, but also understand how to work that in. So Christoph Gans, being such a fan of the Silent Hill games, helped him for that first movie, because he knew the feel and the tone and the look of how he wanted things to go, and then he could work in those little fan service bits and those little things. They tried that a little bit in Street Fighter.
Did they? Because I didn't.
Because I get that feel
notice
like
anything.
Part of it is costuming. You mentioned the costumes.
Okay.
I think for the era,
like the costumes,
yeah. Like for the era of when this was made, I think the costuming is quite good for what they're going for. There's some silly ways that they get them into their costumes, like sending Ken and Ryu to the training dojo.
Oh yeah.
They wear red and white gi. Okay.
Oh yeah. I got that. Like when Ryu was wearing the white outfit, I'm like, wait, you just put him into his game outfit for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's fine.
Yeah, that's all right.
But there's also stuff that happens in the movie that I feel like a writer like D'Souza would be better than. There's some exposition dumps from characters where it's like, we don't have enough time to flesh out this character, so we're just going to tell you who this character is.
Yeah, I got that. I got that a few times where they're telling us like, oh, this is what the situation is, this is who the character is, this is what's happening to them. It's like, okay, so we have to rush some of this because we don't have the time to fill it in.
Yeah, which is why Chun-Li and Bison are the best characters, because you learn about them over the course of the movie. You don't have to be told that, Balrog was a boxer and his boxing career got ruined by Shadaloo. And then later on in the movie, he's wearing boxing gloves because reasons.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's shoehorning the character in there, and that doesn't work as well.
Yeah, or like they say, like Wes Studi is a crime boss who is running the street. It's like, okay,
yeah, and that's a whole change. Like that's another one where they're changing the character, because in the games, aside from the physical changes, like Wes Studi is not 7 feet tall like Sagat is in the game.
Yeah, sure.
That's fine. I don't mind that. But
yeah, no, that's fine.
he's not a crime boss, you know, running weapons. But they have to do that because he's a fighter. He was a cage fighter, and he was. So the story of the game is Sagat was, because Sagat is the villain of the first Street Fighter game, and he was the man. He was the fighter, but then he got beat by Ryu, and so now he has a vendetta against Ryu, and they have this whole thing, which in the movie it's Ken and him that are rivals.
Yeah.
And it's just it's the too many characters. There's just
which I didn't even realize there's supposed to be a rivalry between those two characters. Like they meet each other, and there's like some mild animosity that I got, but they don't. After that opening scene with when they meet him, it's like,
they don't really talk.
Yeah, are you guys supposed to have a dynamic here?
Yeah. Again, like you could easily trim out several of the characters and streamline this. And I think also, too, kind of going back to sort of the trouble in making this movie was because they got behind schedule, the producers were showing up being like, hey, you're behind schedule. And so D'Souza, according to D'Souza, did an old John Ford trick where he would just rip pages out of the script and then try to figure it out later. And they filmed a lot of the final action stuff. There was D'Souza and a second unit director that was also one of the choreographers filming things simultaneously.
Oh, boy.
Which is always tough because D'Souza, as the director, has a vision, and if the choreographer doesn't share that same vision, if they're doing things at the same time, he can't oversee both of those.
No.
So they were getting into arguments. They had to, like, there were problems with scheduling where they were initially going to try and shoot a lot of the dialogue-heavy stuff with Raul Julia first.
Sure, because he's sick, and they want to they want to like make it easiest for him. I get that.
But then he shows up on set, and he's he's lost a bunch of weight because of the surgery, and so they need to give him a little bit of time to kind of get his weight back and fill his face in a little bit. So now they're shooting a lot of action stuff early that they weren't going to do, so the choreography hurts because they don't get to take a lot of time practicing their choreography.
I noticed.
There's a fight with Ryu. Byron Mann literally was told they were shooting it that day, and he was shown the choreography once and then given a knife and said, "Here you go shoot it."
Yeah, I think I know what fight you're talking about, and that knife fight is so like, what? Like, okay, they're fighting and they're hitting and they're knifing, I guess. Like, and I also noticed like the Raul Julia, like the choreography they had for him. I wonder now if this was a way that they got around the fact that he was sick. So the beginning of the movie, it's like the beginning of the movie when guys are like, there's a scene where guys are like coming up and like fight him to the death. And the move set is he just flips them over or like snaps their neck. It's like, oh, this I didn't know, and I knew that he was sick at the time. So I'm like, this is the move set he can do. He's not going to do a bunch of fighting. Like, okay,
exactly.
and that works because it sells him as like a immensely deadly threat. But it also makes it really fun in a good way at the end of the movie when he's flying around like a spy kid at Van Damme, like on his rocket boots that are powered by whatever it was. I mean, it's like that final fight between the two of them. That was so enjoyable to see them go at it.
It also, like, you can have less prep time if you are a well-oiled machine and you have everybody that has that training, right? Like, a Jackie Chan film, for instance, there's choreography involved, but that stunt crew that are doing a lot of those scenes have worked together so much that there's a shorthand and they can quickly pick it up. But when you have actors like Ming-Na Wen and Byron Mann who have training, but they don't have specific training for that movie, it's tougher. It's hard to do, and that's the movie suffers because of that. Because you've got these moments like there's the scene early on where Ken and Ryu meet Sagat, and then he puts Ryu in the fight with Vega.
Yeah,
and they do all the posturing and the sword work and all of that, and then it ends because Guile busts in and arrests everybody. And it's it's such a tease.
That was funny. And then it was also that felt underwhelming as a result. It's like, oh, we're doing this thing, and now Guile's here and arresting them. And then also, I thought it was hilarious that like they get in the back of the truck, and I think it's Ryu who like he uncuffs himself, and they can just bust out of the back of the truck, and there's only like one guard sitting there.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And he just kicks him in the face, and he runs off. It's like, oh wow, you guys have the worst security ever.
Yeah, that feels like we got this to shoot today, I guess, so we'll just do it and run with it. Time is money.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, that's what that feels. I was like, oh wait, like we're gonna get an awesome battle scene. No, he kicks one guy in the face and then it's done. And then there are other battle scenes I think are good, like like Ming-Na Wen's battle stuff. That actually feels like we spent some time on it. Like she has actual movements and she's confident doing them, and it's shot well. It's like, okay, this is actually like a good, like her choreography stuff actually feels, more rehearsed and better integrated into where it is.
Yep, hers does. The second fight with Ryu and Vega in the like locker room area felt better because they gave him a little bit of time. The stuff with Zangief and E Honda is funny.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm fine with that. Like I love the whole like them, shoot them in slow motion so they look bigger, and then you get them on the fake Bisonopolis set.
Oh, but when I read Bisonopolis, so he's making his big speech and like I will like ride the saddle of the world or something.
Yep.
And I read the Opolis on the back from it's a little blurred in the shot, but like I read Opolis like, oh my God, that says Bisonopolis. I love you, movie.
He is such a great megalomaniac because the whole gag with his own bison dollars, right? And he's gonna.
Oh, I love that.
That's
like,
what he's paying everybody in.
In my head, before he said it, I was like, man, I want some bison dollars. And when he actually said it, I was like, wait, they're actually called bison dollars?
Right? Oh, it's so
my
good.
God.
And
then like it's going $1 bison is 5 pounds after I kidnap the queen and make her say it.
He is absolutely bonkers, and I love every bit of it. But he has I captured way too many audio clips. I'm not gonna be able to play all of them because we'll be here all night. But I've got a few things I have to play because this movie is just a gold mine. Number one,
man, it's so many things.
This is one of the coldest villain lines in a movie or a story ever.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the long version of it.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
This movie has no business having that good of a line in it, and
that whole scene is so perfect because she thinks it's going to go down a way, and the scene is even set up like this is her big thing, and I love how coldly casual he is about it. It's like
so good.
It makes it more believable because to a dictator like this, it's like, oh, I slaughtered your yeah, I did that. It would just be a Tuesday for like it made it was fun, and it was fun, it made me smile, but it also was like, oh yeah, he's the real deal. Like he just does that.
Yeah, it's so good. To think that two of the best lines from a villain in anything are that line from the movie Street Fighter, and then there is a line from the Disney cartoon Gargoyles.
Oh, what is that line?
So the
Is it
line
said by
is, if you pay a man enough, he will walk barefoot into hell. And that is spoken by the villain
Jeez,
in Gargoyles. And it's just like,
man.
that sounds like something straight out of a Shakespearean play to me. It's
That's
so good.
amazing. Yeah, and
So
then I feel like a lot of, and like you said earlier, I think the reason why a lot of the Bison stuff works so well is because, and I didn't even realize this while I was watching it, but it was like because he plays it like he's doing a grand Shakespeare play.
yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
he's bringing this, like you can almost see like a skull in his hand as
Mhm.
he monologues. And it's
It's
like he's bringing some reality to this, even
yeah.
in a cartoonish way. Like he's making it feel not real, but just like I believe in the character so
Yes.
much more than I should,
It's
and
Michael
that's why it's
Caine,
working.
right? It's Michael Caine in The Muppet Christmas Carol, where he understood
Yeah.
to play that character in that movie, he has to go hard.
Yeah.
Julio has to go hard here. But he can balance that with also something as silly as,
Bisonopolis shall be the wonder of my world. But I think the food court should be larger. All the big franchises will want in.
like, that's funny.
Oh my
That's
god, yeah,
genuinely funny that he
that
cares about the size of
yeah,
the food court.
that there's and that caught me off guard with this movie more than anything. The fact that like there are genuinely funny bits of dialogue in it like that.
Mhm.
Where it's like, wow, you actually had to, that was actually clever. Like you had to actually think about that. And
And
they
it fits.
there's
It
a
fits the megalomaniac
yeah,
so well.
yeah, there's a level of there's a level of effort in a lot of this movie that I did not expect it for the
Yes.
time and what it is. Also, for a movie called Street Fighter, I counted exactly one street fight in
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is it called Street Fighter? They're not fighting in the street.
Yeah. I know. I know. It's
I mean, and I know it's a thing of like, it was it's not it's one of those things like if I walked into this and didn't know it was called Street Fighter, when it comes up at the end, I would be like, wait, I just watched a movie about about a bunch of military guys and people taking down a dictator. Why is it called Street Fighter, bro?
yeah, exactly.
Like,
Um, so another great line along the lines of the food court one is when we meet him with Dulcim, and
mhm.
he asks Dulcim, like how's it going, kind of thing, and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, he's all upset because his research is being used for terrible things, and I love it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this response from Bison is so genuine. He genuinely thinks the character does that this is the correct response.
Tell you what, after I've crushed my enemies, we'll see about getting you published. That should cheer you up.
we'll, we'll see about getting you published.
Yes,
Is
I
that what he
just
said?
love that. I will think about getting you published.
Well, I mean, that is. Although I love the thing with the computer voices in this movie, like
Oh,
the
I got a couple of those.
the computer voice, like what they're you have to listen for them in the action, but like everything the computer voice says, the computer voice says, so if I like body mass increased by 71%. It's like,
Yes.
what are they doing to this poor man?
I know. It's so good.
Well, and then like early on, like when we first see Charlie, he's like, "You are his friend. Take him to my laboratory." It's like, what are you going to do to this dude in the lab?
Yeah.
Wait, you have a lab here? What
Which
do you
again,
have in
I
there?
mean, it fits in the crazy, but
Oh
also
no.
you could cut all that out and it wouldn't change the movie at all.
Well, no, and that's the thing. Like, I think this, and that's the thing. This is such a tough battle between stuff that they should have cut out to streamline it and make it better. But if you cut out a lot of stuff, it wouldn't be as memorable.
This is
And I
true.
think
This is
the
very
fact that
true.
I feel like the fact that they were trying to stick so many things in here, like yeah, it's an overstuffed movie, but that overstuffedness is why it's enjoyable because you never can figure out really what will the next scene be, what will the next plot point be, what is Bison going to say next? This is gonna make you smile or laugh.
Right.
It's like just
You
like
get the
there's an-
Tuesday line, and of course,
there-
you have to have
Of course!
like that's
I'd heard that line in clips and videos before for years, and
it's
it's iconic.
wonderful.
It is genuinely iconic. And then like and that's the response to that is like, wait, Guile is alive?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like, so once again, looking at this as like a Jean-Claude Van Damme star vehicle, which they were trying to push it as was the poster and everything. Like, I honestly thought that he had died in the beginning of the movie, and I was like, wow, did they actually kill off the first build star in the first 20 minutes and
Would
they
have been
didn't give him
bold.
any action? I mean, I was gearing up for like, oh man, okay, this is gonna be the Chun-Li movie. Oh wait, he's alive. Okay, I'm fine with that. And then also like she finds him in the morgue, and the way that scene plays out, I'm like, wait, have you
He's just
been
been laying there.
laying in the body bag?
It's one of my favorite things. Like, yeah, he just laying down there the whole time waiting for somebody to come in and find him. He couldn't
Like,
get up
if
until somebody pulled the sheet away and then put it back.
Yeah, like what if the janitor came in there or something?
It's so good.
And that's actually a scene where I think that's actually the way that he does that is a good point in his performance. Like just casually gets up and pulls the sheet down.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like, it's
yeah,
nothing.
he's just
Oh,
yeah. It's like
so
this
good.
isn't weird. Yeah, no, I think the fact that this is and I think the tone of the thing is another reason why this works as well as it does. Like there are dark things technically happening in the movie, but it has such a lighthearted, goofy approach to it
It
that
does.
it's like this is just so fun. Like
Yeah,
it all
absolutely.
works.
Now, anybody that listens to this show long enough knows that if there's a laugh in a movie, I'm probably going to capture it for audio because I love actors laughing. Because you can tell when something is genuinely funny on set that cracks people up, and you can tell when they're putting on their laughs. And I also love maniacal laughter and M. Bison laughing.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
real good.
I love villains maniacally laughing like that. He just and again just everything. I remember like Roger Ebert once said that an action movie is only as good as its villain,
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
I think this is a good case for that because your hero in the movie is kind of whatever, like he's functional. Your villain in the movie is so entertaining and so maniacal and so just enjoyable to spend time with that it makes the rest of the movie around him. It's like, no, this elevates it. Like I would tell somebody if you were a fan of Raul Julia and like really goofy stuff, watch this. Like just do it.
It is absolutely worth it just for him. It's also worth it for like Jean-Claude Van Damme making weird noises because he's really good at doing that. You know, just like grunts. Like I got a few of these.
Okay, good.
There's that
Yeah.
one, or
Yeah.
and also those are all real noises he made. Funny. The funny thing is, all of his dialogue in this movie was ADR'd. You could tell.
All of it.
Oh, you can tell.
All
Like he
of
had to
it?
re-record
Oh,
every line he spoke, and so you know he was also in the
Okay.
recording booth making those noises. Like that.
That makes
I
it even
love-
funnier.
I'm such a
Sorry,
fan of like Foley work and sound design in movies,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
I love
just
that
wish
stuff,
that
too.
I could be in a recording studio when an actor has to come in and do. Because that's got to be so much fun to be there that day.
no! And then they're like, so the fact that it was all ADR, like every line of his is ADR'd. So first off, whoever was in charge of that, it was good enough that I didn't notice it when I was watching it this time. Like I thought he was actually saying stuff as he was, but knowing that it was all ADR'd, it makes it clear to me why a lot of his line readings sound really off to me.
Yeah.
Like the way that like his delivery on so many lines. I'm like, the syllable is off. Or
There's
the
a couple-
emotion is off.
Yeah, there's
It's
a,
like,
there's a
what?
couple like. First of all, his accent makes things like
What's the situation?
sound really funny.
Yeah.
Because
His
He's got a
his
very
ac-
thick French accent trying to say situation, so it comes out as situation.
Yeah.
And there's also things like
Find Ken and Ryu and get the hostages out.
now I'm going to play that again. Listen to the very start of it, and here's how you can tell that so much of it was done via ADR. Listen to
Okay.
the very beginning of this clip. I did not edit this in any way other
Okay.
than to clip it out
Okay.
of the movie.
Okay.
Find Ken and Ryu and get the hostages out.
Do you hear how that F in find is? It's almost like they clipped off the very front of the
it's-
audio when they placed it in.
Yeah, it sounds like because there's a truck driving behind him or something. It sounds like you almost can't even hear the F because of the truck sound
Yeah,
behind
exactly.
him.
Um,
Yeah, that's.
I also-
I-
They desperately wanted to get some good one-liners in here for him.
oh,
And so you
they
have-
tried.
There's a couple of exchanges that are great. First of all,
You have made me a happy man.
Next, I'll make you a dead one.
Oh, that's the
zing,
that-
you
oh
got him.
my-
Now, the lawyer, played by Simon
yeah.
Callow, the lawyer
Oh
character,
my
he
God,
does
that
get him.
was-
I did like this.
Colonel,
Yeah.
have you lost your mind?
No, you've lost your balls.
That's that was like the one line from him that made me laugh and like that is a good one liner and he delivered that okay.
He
Like,
did.
The
He did.
the lawyer that lawyer character is funny where it's like he says like, oh, I told him that we're not invading anymore and I got all the soldiers to stay at the base and there's just a single cook just sitting there.
Oh yeah. One more Van Damme because it's the way he says this word that just cracked me up.
Attention all boats, stand by at attack vector alpha.
Attack.
Oh my
Attack Vector Alpha.
there's
Yes,
something-
that's
he
your
says-
all-American soldier, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and he says something else when they're like, also, I love that he has his own little boat with his name on it.
Yes. Okay. All right. So the final attack on Bison's compound in the movie.
The final attack.
Yeah, the
on
attack.
Bison's again. Yes.
It was supposed to be an aerial assault initially.
Okay.
They couldn't film that because the Thailand government would not allow them to fly that number of planes around in the airspace.
Okay.
So they had to rewrite it to do an amphibious assault.
Okay.
And then they worked that into the movie by saying an attack from the air is impossible. All right,
okay.
cool.
Yeah.
So they do that. So then he gets in this stealth boat, and it's him and Cammy and T-Hawk in the stealth boat.
Yeah.
They're going along, and then they activate the active camouflage, right?
Yeah.
And then proceed to pull out giant miniguns and shoot down the radar towers. If you're trying to sneak in, just sneak past the radar towers.
Yeah. I
Don't draw
noticed
attention to
that.
yourself with that. Followed by, it cracked me up because then you have lines of dialogue like Cammy saying this about their camouflage.
Stealth mode detected. They're jamming us.
Jamming what?
What are you?
What are they
jamming?
jamming?
Oh wait, no. Well, I'm trying to remember what like somebody said something. There was somebody said there was another line like that. And I wish I'd wrote it down. But there's a line in this battle where somebody says something.
It might be
That-
this because I
one-
did capture another one, and it's T-Hawk,
Okay.
who, by the way,
Uh-huh.
T-Hawk is a character from the games, but he's barely
Okay.
in the movie.
Right.
But T-Hawk says this as they're trying to dodge. Now, mind you, they are in a speedboat. They are trying to dodge sea mines in the
Yes.
river, and he says,
They have a radar lock.
"The mines have a radar lock."
Oh my
What is radar locked? Why does that matter? They have a radar lock, and they're just avoid the mines, dude.
That wasn't the line. It was some line happens in this battle, and I wish I'd wrote it down. But like somebody says something that completely contradicts what another person had just said, and I was like, wait,
that doesn't
you
surprise
just
me at all.
like wait, you just said this. What do you mean that the bad guys have that here? Like, or wait, we have this.
Yeah.
We have this. What do you mean they have that? Like, it was one of those lines where I was like, wait, did no one proofread this scene?
That feels very much like the whole thing of D'Souza saying he was just tearing pages out of the script to like get stuff done. That feels like that was that day. Like we had a scene that explained this, but we never filmed it. So
that had to be the situation, because it was one of those lines where it's like, "Sir, there's this. No, we have this." And like, but wait, that's not physically possible.
right.
That's not possible at all for this information and what you just said to both be true. Oh, whatever. I'm having fun.
I got a few, again, weird noises that this movie made that I'm going to do in rapid fire here because these are great. I love laughs, and I love action movie, like, again, all the grunts and type sounds that you get. So here's a few of these. I'm just going to kind of play them.
Yeah.
That one's great. That's somebody getting grabbed by the throat and getting choked.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or
all the sounds, all the death sounds are so like amazing.
And there's a scene towards the end with Balrog where he goes to punch somebody, and they talking about it being very cartoonish.
Yeah.
They added a wind-up sound to his punch.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was like, yeah, that was like, yes, of course you just did that.
Of course.
That's fine. Like, that's fine.
Or Cammy in one of the fights just out of nowhere says, she just yells thrust kick.
Oh my god, I didn't hear that.
Now I'm going to play this
one.
God. This one I'm going to play for you. What I want to know is this a character from Street Fighter, or is this a clip of Miss Piggy? Because it could be either one.
Yeah, that could be. I could imagine. Now I just imagine Miss Piggy taking down Bison's castle.
I mean, I want to see that movie. But that is actually, that is from Street Fighter. That is Chun-Li. Okay. But I heard that and I was like, that is such Miss Piggy
That's Miss Piggy. Yeah, that is also, I mean, maybe Miss Piggy was inspired by Chun-Li to be a reporter in Muppets from Space. They just cut that scene out. I don't know. All the, I love it. Like I love it in any action movie. I love it in any action movie when they're like, yeah, like just all the little grunts and screams. Like, I adore all of that.
Because somebody had to make those sounds too. Like somebody has to sit in a recording studio in front of a microphone and do all of that. It's so good.
And it's just fun. Like, I got such a sense of just joy out of the whole thing.
Yeah. And again, like we've talked a lot about how they understood that there was some camp involved in this movie. And you mentioned the computer voice earlier, but there's also the announcement voice on at Bison's compound saying things like,
"Attention all troopers, remember that maintaining your health and benefits is your responsibility."
I had to go back when they said, like, wait, did she just say? Yes, she did. That's brilliant. Okay.
And as good as that one is, I think I like this one better.
Estimated repair time, 18 months.
Estimated repair time, 18 months.
Oh, yeah. There's everything that announcement voice says.
All of it. Some of it was tough to capture. Yeah, some of it was tough to capture because there's a lot of background noise going on, but those two in particular I had to get.
There's so much going on in the third act of this thing.
There really is.
Yet the computer voice, I was like, no, I want to hear what that's saying. That's going to be really funny.
And the last two I'm going to play are Zangief, who my boy Zangief doesn't get enough in this movie to do, but man, his couple of moments, the funniest, probably the funniest gag, and it certainly will make you laugh out loud, is they're watching the monitor, and it's when Chun-Li says, "We've rigged your stuff to explode," and they set the truck off, And then they're looking outside and they see the truck and they look back at the monitor and they look outside and then he says,
Quick, change the channel.
Yeah, I burst out laughing at that. It's like, wait,
so good. And then everybody does the slow turn and look at him like, is this guy serious? It is brilliant.
Yeah, that probably got the biggest laugh out of me in terms of like, what? They all look at him like, what are you talking about?
There's that, and then again, I want a Zangief and DJ movie, just those two from this movie. I want their story because they have this great exchange at the end, back to back. You get
General Bison, he's a bad guy. You know this, then why do you serve him?
Because he paid me a freaking fortune, you moron.
followed up by, and everybody has seen, and the meme is Will Poulter. You guys got paid.
Yeah.
That meme.
Yeah.
That meme is great. This is better.
But this is better.
You got paid?
Yeah. No, yeah, that exchange between the two characters.
It's so good.
Again, there's a level of cleverness you have to think about to write something like that into this.
Yeah.
Where I was like,
absolutely.
I didn't expect that. And I love that they just point out like it is the way that they both deliver it is so sincere. Like, why are you doing it? Because he paid me a lot of money. Like, yes. I love it. Like, they're just acknowledging, like, yeah, that's why we're here. Again, the movie. So I've heard a lot of people say, a lot of people tell me the movie is very self-aware. And I think self-awareness sometimes can work and sometimes it doesn't. This is a case where I think they had just the right amount of self-awareness to it. Where it's like, okay, we know what things to make fun of and poke holes in, like that exchange of why, if you know he's a villain, why because he paid me a lot of money. But they know when not to make a gag like, wait, you guys just got here out of nowhere. Where is that? Like, how'd you get here? Oh, well, like they don't double dip the chip on the like self-aware, haha, aren't we goofy kind of thing. They just kind of, and they play it goofily straight is how I would say it.
It's earnest.
Yeah,
it's earnest while also understanding. It's what makes a movie like Hot Fuzz work so well, or Galaxy Quest work so well, because those are parodies, but they love the source material, so they know just where to pick and say this is really silly, but also we love it, and here's why we love it, which is what
like
works.
Galaxy Quest. Yeah, like I was rewatching some of Galaxy Quest a couple nights ago, and now that I'm more of a Trekkie than I was when I saw it in years past, it was like, wow, this is really capturing. Like, I love the opening clips where they're like, what the show is like. No, they got the sets and the explosions and Tim Allen having the Goofy William Shatner hair, and like all of the fan stuff and the costuming and the like. And the views, like, they really love Star Trek and wanted to like do something affectionate with it, but also make fun of it in a way that's really funny.
Yeah. Yep. That movie, and that's why for me, Hot Fuzz is one of the best parody movies, comedies ever, because they love those cheeseball 80s, 90s action movies. And they made one. Movies. Yeah, they made a great buddy cop movie while also poking fun at all the ridiculousness of it.
And I tried to show my sister the Cornetto trilogy, actually, and like, so I showed her Shaun of the Dead, and she said that was a fun movie, like she enjoyed it, she thought it was fun. I tried to show her the worlds, I tried to show her I did show her Hot Fuzz, and she's like, that was amazing, like I loved it. And then I tried to show her The World's End, and about a half hour into it, so right before the scene where the aliens come in, she looks at me and she's like, yeah, this is just too sad. Like, I'm not enjoying this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she's not laughing. We're done. Like, we're out. We're not.
That's a tough one.
Because if she wasn't laughing at the beginning of it, I knew where it was going. I'm like, oh, if you think this is too sad now, yeah, we're not making it to the end of this. Sorry. Yeah. But no, she loved Hot Fuzz because it was just like, again, probably because she could probably tell it was a really good, fun time. It was like, it was a parody of it, but it's like it was also, I don't remember where I heard it's like, a lot of the best parodies of things also work as examples of that thing.
Yes.
Like Galaxy Quest is a parody of Star Trek or sci-fi adventure action movies, but it's also a good adventure action movie. This is
Because they
I don't
don't it works because they don't punch down. They don't make fun of the thing. They point out the ridiculous nature of it, but they love the source material. And because they
Yeah.
love the source material, you get a good version of that thing while also being like, yeah, but it's also really silly and here's how it is. And that's what I love about it. And that's where like there is that in this movie. Like everybody making it
is aware
is
how
aware of it
goofy
and having
is.
fun with that. And like
Yeah.
I know Ming Na Wen had said in to somebody, I think it was she went back to ER or something and told George Clooney that I don't know how true this whole exchange is, but was kind of cringing about making the movie, and he's like, "Trust me, no one's going to care. Like it's not going to ruin your career." And he knows that because he did stuff like Return of the Killer Tomatoes. So, but at the same time, like you can look back on it and be like, "Yeah, but I was part of something that people remember." Right? They remember this movie.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if she was cringing through it to herself, that never comes in her performance at all. Like she feels like she's totally into it when I'm watching it.
I think what ends up happening is a movie like this, when it comes out, doesn't hit right away. Although it did well enough. Like it made about $100 million on a $35 million budget worldwide.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good return.
That's good. Yeah.
But because of the earnest nature of making it and the fun that can be had in it and the camp factor, it has a longer tail than some other things would, because people are going to enjoy it down the line. They're going to see the ridiculousness of it, but also see look, I will fully agree. There are a lot of faults in this movie. The plot is really dumb and a lot of it doesn't make any sense, and things happen just because they happen. And there's exposition dumps that I do not like. But after watching the movie, I have a big smile on my face and I had a fun time with it.
I did too. And that I did as well. And that was the biggest thing for me about this, was that like there are so many things that I could criticize this for, and I wouldn't call it good in the traditional sense if I would call most movies good.
Yes.
But it's like, I'm smiling so much and so consistently, and this movie is so unashamed to be exactly itself, and it's so much like we're trying to adapt a video game into a movie, and we're figuring out what that means in this era of the movie genre. And we've got Van Damme and Raul Julia and all these people like who are really good actors, and they're all in tune with it. It's like there's so much enjoyment factor in this that I can't punch down to it. I'm like, I had too much fun and was on this thing's wavelengths from the very start of it to the very end.
Yep.
Just to like take out my critic tongs and be like, well, this and this and this and this and that. Like I'm shocked the critic score is as low as it is on this. Like it's people's opinions. I'm like,
not that shocked because traditionally video game movies do not score well with critics. And a lot of that is because for a long time, again, video games were looked at as a medium for children, and critics, like there are types of movies that I just know aren't going to do well with critics. You just know that. It's changing as film criticism is evolving, but video game-based movies have never scored well. Like from 1993 when Super Mario Brothers debuted until let's see, I'm looking for the first one that had a collective tomato meter score above 50%, meaning more than half the critics liked it. And I think you got to get to, was it Tomb Raider?
That might be.
And I'm not even talking the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raiders, because those didn't.
The Alicia Vikander one? Was that really the first one?
That's what I'm seeing. It looks like.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because I know that the Alicia Vikander. I mean, I saw the Alicia Vikander one a few years ago, And I picked it up for $5 somewhere. I'm like, yeah, I like this. I like her. Let's see. I thought that was an entertaining movie as a movie. Now
Uh-huh.
having played through the video games they based it on, it's like you didn't capture the game much, but you did make an entertaining like adventure action movie to me. I also get why some fans would have been miffed that they took out all the supernatural elements of it. But I'm like,
Right.
I enjoyed it. I would have seen a sequel if they had been made, if they hadn't lost the rights and everything. I would like to see that continue. It's like, where would you go with this?
Yeah. But you
But
think
yeah,
about
that
the
was one
fact
of the first ones.
that
That
movie
was one of
came
the
out
first
in
ones that
20
got good.
Yeah, that movie came out
18.
in 2018. So from 1993 to 2018, all of the movies based on video games, and critics never loved them. There would be critics that did. You'd get some that were in the high 40s in terms, and again, Rotten Tomato meter score is the percentage of positive reviews based on how many there are, right? So you get 100 reviews and 50 of them are positive. That's a 50% movie.
Yeah.
So more than half of your critics for the majority of the history of video game films don't like them. I get that.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah,
movies
I
made for film
understand.
critics, but
Yeah.
they're enjoyable. And when they're right, they're right. And the thing that Street Fighter also did is it's not boring.
No, it's
That is the
never
worst thing a
boring.
movie can be. That's a lot of the
Agreed,
Uwe
yeah.
Boll movies
Are
fall into that
boring.
category. They get boring. I get
Yeah.
bored watching them. And I never get bored anytime I watch Street Fighter because you
No,
got
I
Raul
would
Julia doing his thing. And
Yeah.
again, just colors and you
And the
all this
comedy
stuff.
the comedy value of Van Damme trying to be the all-American hero, like, that's all of that. Just
That will never
so
get old. It will never get old to hear that
no,
accent.
no.
That accent trying to be the
well,
all-American Guile.
well, but that's another thing, like, I was just, like yeah, so, like, even the fact that his name was Guile, I was like, "Oh, I'm not taking this seriously." Okay. Like, and, like, even, like, one of the first ones he had, like, he's talking into the microphone, he's like, "Hey, check this out," and he, like, pumps his fist up into the shot or something. It's like, "Wait,
Yeah. That's
what was that for?"
that's like the PG version of flipping somebody off is what they were going
I
for there. And it's
think
ridiculous.
I think the only way that shot could have been made better is if he flipped up his arm with the American flag on it.
Yes. That would have been
Like,
good.
but
If
yeah,
he-
just like,
No, it's
yes, I am an American. I swear.
now that you've seen this movie, are you more or less excited to see the new version that will come out later this year?
Um,
Or is it kind of the same
I
and you're
was,
just sort of
I
ambivalent
was,
to it?
I was, I was ambivalent to it when I heard it was coming out because again, I hadn't, this is my first real exposure to the franchise, and so
Mhm.
I didn't have any expectations of like, what is this supposed to be? What are
Sure.
these things? What's the tone of this supposed to be? I feel like having not seen the new one yet, obviously. I feel like this one will probably have more just like fun enjoyment value because they were one of the first guys out of the gate to do it. And so the fact that they were throwing everything at the wall to see what worked, there's sort of an endearing factor in that. And now we've gotten more video game movies that have been good in the last few
Mhm.
years. And I'm sure this new one will be I'm guessing this new one will be fine. Like I'm sure it'll be like well made, well intentioned, and this and that. I don't know if it's gonna have the level of dude, you have to check this out to see how ridiculous it is factor that this one has. And I feel like it's gonna so I guess I'm like, I wanna see what they do, but I'm also like, you're not gonna find anybody else who's as good as Raul Julia playing this
No.
megalomaniacal villain. You're not
No, you're
gonna
absolutely not. And they're
like,
trying, like the casting that I've heard for
and
this
who
new
they
movie.
have and who they have for the casting on this, because I haven't like who they have.
The main ones I know are David Dasmalchian is
Okay.
M. Bison.
Good care. I've heard everybody go nuts about the guy. I can't recognize him in anything. Like I'm sure I would if I saw him, but I don't
Yeah.
recognize him for like, oh, one of this guys who's really good.
He's one of those that guy type of guys where you see him
Okay.
and you're like, it's sort of like Paul Dano was that for a long time for me, where I'd see him
Yeah.
and I could never put the name to the
Like,
face, but now I
right,
can.
yeah.
Dalmatians like that. They've got like Cody Rhodes, the pro wrestler, is going to be Guile.
Okay, a wrestler turned actor. That we'll see how that turns out.
And the one trailer that I've watched of this movie feels like they are getting that kind of tone where they understand is silly, it's over the top, it's ridiculous. We're going to lean into that. We're going to lean, like in the trailer they had, there's an in between fights mini game in the Street Fighter games where you would wreck a car.
Yeah.
And they showed that in the trailer. And when I saw that, I thought, okay, you're figuring out the elements you're going to bring into this. What I don't know, of course, is story. What is the plot thread that's bringing all these characters together? Yeah, but I'm excited for that. So
I feel like they're probably gonna try and make it into a street fighting tournament here.
I hope so. Quite honestly,
and that would be good because that's what the game is. Like you want to translate the game, and then for me, it's like okay, I can accept any premise that you throw at me. Just give me a character and a story to latch on to, and I'll go anywhere with you. It's like, great, these guys are in a fighting tournament, Ryu and Ken. Okay, make me like them if they're my main characters, or make me like Guile. Make me love to hate Bison again. Like, just I am not a very hard person to please when it comes to video game film adaptations.
Same.
I'm just like, look, if you give again characters and a basic story that I can get into, great. If we get to a point where video game movies can get more like deep and nuanced, then that'd be great. Like I would love to see that. Right
and
now,
we are seeing those adaptations happen more in the series with things like The Last of Us and Fallout are adapting in a series format really well. So I'm very curious to see how it goes, but you know, it is one of those things. But I'm glad that you watched this one. Like I am.
I am too.
When that exchange happened on Twitter, and you had said like, "I've never seen the Street Fighter movie," and you know, our mutual friend of Darren is like, "You got to do this."
Yeah, you got to see this. I was like, "Oh, okay." Like this is, I'm happy that I saw this today because it was like. Because I know, and he had said like he thinks the very idea of making a movie into a video game is stupid. It's like I don't agree with that. I think that you can make a good. I think or that's what I got from the exchange. You could clarify, but like I think making a video game into a movie is about like like you said, like finding the story of it and like making that the best it can be, or at least having the most fun you can have. And this has the most fun it can possibly have with itself.
Yeah. No, I agree in that adapting a video game into a movie can work. Now, it can absolutely fail, but so can adapting a novel, so can adapting a comic book. You have to understand what makes the video game work, and then can that become a compelling story?
Yeah, like and that's why I've enjoyed like the Sonic trilogy because I look at these movies. I'm like, okay, I like these movies because their stories are fun. I like the friendship between the characters. You know, they're zippy times. And this is gonna get me eviscerated, but I'm the guy that thinks the Five Nights at Freddy's movies are okay as far as like I want to see monsters do chaos stuff. Like they are flawed and crazy, but I'm like, look, I don't think they're as bad as a lot of other people seem to. Like, I understand why the reviews are the way they are. Like, I understand why someone wouldn't like the movies. I get it, but I'm also like, okay.
But as fans of the games like them.
Yeah, fans of the games like them. And the second one I thought got a little bit closer to me. Like, we're slowly edging to, we're almost to a movie that I give like average to. Where it's like, okay, there's improvement in the second movie. Like the pacing is better and it's more creepy and the tone is consistent and the ideas are more like they're getting better each time with these movies. And I think we could get to one soon where I'd be like, no, that was actually a good version, like a good version of itself, where I'm not saying, well, it's fine if you're a fan of the games, but if you're not, then or you can just go with what they throw at you.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And that's
like,
where,
but yeah, they're fine. They're all right. The phase movies are all right with me. I'm enjoying them. I want to see where they go.
yeah. And to bring it back to what we had said earlier, that's what I think makes the Sonic movies work is they started off with something that you can just enjoy as like the fun little adventure movie that it is. And then they work more. It does well enough. It pleases fans and non-fans, and it does well enough that they can make more. And now you can bring more elements into it. And
and it's always fun.
That works.
Yeah, it's always it does, and it's always fun for me because honestly, I've been reviewing movies since I was like 10 years old, and I'm 31 now. I obviously don't remember what it was like to be a kid anymore. But when I go into these Sonic movies, which I fully realize are children's movies, I'm like, okay, the kids in my audience are enjoying themselves. They're laughing at the goofy stuff. They're being quiet during the sentimental or serious moments occasionally when they pop up. It's like, okay, the kids are engaged by this. Nobody is asking their mom, what's happening? I want to leave. I'm scared. Like,
exactly.
The kids are enjoying them. I'm enjoying them as someone who likes lighthearted family movies and as someone who grew up playing a few Sonic games here and there, like not a super fan, but I have a connection to the character. Like, no, these are working for me. And the last one got high critic scores. So they're working. So the third one works for a lot of critics too, which I'm like, okay, so it's good. They're starting to make these better. And I think that I would say that Street Fighter is like the Blade of video game movie adaptations, where it's like, okay, we made one that was big and crazy, but it worked. Like it got people in it. It took a while to build up some steam, but it opened the door for more of these to build on it and be bigger and better and more broad appealing.
I would agree with that. Like this movie and Mortal Kombat are kind of back to back, proved that a movie based on a video game can make money.
Yeah.
And that alone is going to get more of them made. So
yeah. And I'm glad this made money, and I'm glad that it it works for people. I'm glad that we're getting another version of it, but I'm also like, this one, I'll have a place for this one. Like, yeah, this is fun. I want to show this to people.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. This is a movie to show friends. This is a great one to sit and watch with friends.
Absolutely.
So yes, I'm so glad that you got to watch this. Now, let people know where they can find anything that you're working on or find your reviews. You said you've been reviewing movies for a long time. Where can people find Kevin the Critic?
Okay, so you can find me. So I have a film review blog site called kevinthecritic.com. I've been writing movie reviews since I was 10 years old. You can find a large majority of my reviews. Some of them were lost to time, unfortunately, but like a large majority of them are there. And when you're there, you can find links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages at Kevin_the_Critic on Twitter, Kevin the Critic on Facebook and Instagram. I have a Threads, but I don't like to be there. It's kind of depressing sometimes.
Agreed.
but it's like, okay, but yeah, like I love talking movies of all kinds. I won't, not a jerk. I just love talking movies with people, and I'm happy. And it's through Twitter that I finally got a reason to watch this, and I'm very happy that I did.
Well, that makes me feel good. I like hearing that because I'm like you. I like to talk movies with people. I love just filmmaking and movies, and I like sharing that. So thank you so much for being here and talking with me about this movie.
Thank you.
If you're listening to this for the first time and you don't already know, I do this every week, and I have been doing it every week. And you can find it Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, twitch.tv/TV's Travis for a live version of it. There's a chat room in there. You can be like Yarp the Squirrel and Stigma82 and hang out there. The show comes out every Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts. And it is Wait You Haven't Seen. If you want the show a few days early and some special exclusive stuff that's only for patrons, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/WYHS. You get some extra stuff there, and it allows me to keep doing the show and do some of the live events that I do throughout the year. Dragon Con, I'll be at Nerdtacular this year. And I would love to do more of those. So if you like the show and you want to see me doing more live stuff at those events, Patreon is what lets that happen. Now, next week, we're going in a very different direction. Riley is coming back. Rilo Ward talked to about a year ago for the first Wicked movie, and we're going to talk about Wicked for Good because I have some thoughts on this movie.
If I could plug myself, so I was on another podcast discussing that called so it's a podcast called Close Watch. It's a guy named Robert Yanez Jr. I was on a thing with him and a few other people on a Wicked for Good roundtable because I also had a variety of thoughts on that, and you can see my full written reviews for the Wicked duology as it is on my site. They are long, but I had a lot to say about them. They were very passionate reviews.
Well, definitely check that out. KevinTheCritic.com. Kevin, thank you so much. We will have to do this again sometime. Get you back for another movie.
Absolutely.
Find something else crazy that you haven't seen.
There are tons of crazy movies I haven't seen. Thank you so much for having me on.
Excellent. And come back next week for Wicked for Good with Riley. But until then, everybody, just remember, enjoy your movies. All right. And look, everything is crazy. So it's more important than ever. Be excellent to each other.
For I beheld Satan, and he fell from heaven like lightning!
Just going for it.
God, that when he said that,